Hey guys, Boy TV here with another video. This is not going to be those type of skip videos or, one of those speed draws that I did last time. But it's actually going to be a camera to face type of video where I discuss what I use as equipment, what techniques I suggest for you guys that want to become a skit maker or filmmaker, and what type of advice I would give in general. So this video is going to be giving you a bunch of insider clips of how I do my skits. Let's get started. So, you want to become a skit maker or filmmaker? I can help you with that. Mind you that I am not a professional in any of these stuff that I'm about to mention, and that I will always get better, and as you will as to. So what you're going to want to do is get equipment. Now, you're probably thinking, Frankie, I don't have the type of money to get that kind of stuff. You don't need expensive stuff. In fact, I'm only using my phone and light. I know, bonkers. I mean, it's not sponsored, but it's a pretty good phone. I'm only using an on tripod, a Samsung Galaxy On 5, a bike light, a selfie stick phone holder which can be detachable and be able to go on tripods, and other stuff like my phone case, pop socket, and screwdriver just because I needed to twink my tripod a bit. I carry all of this in this bag. Sadly, it is breaking and decaying away, but it will be better in the future when I just want to hold that tripod. I just want to say that this is the only equipment that I have at the moment, but in the future, I can get better and more quality equipment that will help with the viewers. The tripod setup is pretty easy if you know what you're doing. All you have to do is set up the tripod to where you want it, and then just position your camera. You can do some pretty cool skits, like if I did with this iPhone one right here. I actually positioned myself to make it look like I was holding my iPad when in reality I wasn't even holding it. Believe it or not, I actually use a bunch of apps instead of just iMovie, which by the way, I use iMovie to edit. It kind of comes free with almost every iOS device, and if you want it and you don't actually have it already installed, then I think it's about $16. It is a bit expensive, but trust me, there's no watermark, there's no anything like that. It's crisp editing and it comes out perfect. You don't even have to have an Apple to edit. You can get all those types of editing softwares, or even better, on Samsungs or other types of phones, or laptops, or Macs, or anything like that. iMovie is just one of the thousands of softwares that actually help you edit with your videos. I use additional apps like Split Camera, which actually lets me do stuff when others are not around. I prefer to actually do my skits when I'm alone, mainly because there's not a lot of noise and that I can actually think and actually position the camera properly. If you don't seem to find the time to be alone much, you don't have to worry. You can always do your videos outside if you have parental supervision. And you can also do any of that kind of stuff with your sisters and brothers, so you don't have to split camera yourself back and forth. Which reminds me that I should probably mention that my Samsung Galaxy On 5 has this special feature where I can pause the video that I can skip from one person to the other person. Meaning that I can be person A and person B while the camera still thinks that I'm two completely different people. The thing that you have to remember is that you have to make sure that your viewers are satisfied with your content. Yes, you can do whatever you want, but you also have to consider the viewers. If you're thinking of mainly doing videos for the internet, that's the main role. You also have to remember that if you don't have parental supervision, things can get pretty hard, and people can actually start hating on you. No matter what, you're always going to get hate, but you just have to develop thick skin along the way, and then you will actually ignore them and then actually do what you have to do. And do what you love, which is filmmaking, apparently. If it's not, then I don't know why you're watching this video. The reason why I have a tripod is because that in the future, if I consider doing vlogging, since I love doing new stuff, that I could actually use that as a vlogging tripod. Many people think that Casey Neistat has those fancy Canon cameras that actually have those pretty expensive tripod and microphones, but when in reality, you can just grab your phone, a nice little selfie stick, or even your hands, and you could just vlog along the way. If you know what you're doing and you actually do it correctly, then it can actually look pretty similar, if not pretty close, to Casey Neistat's or any other your favorite vlogger, YouTuber's vlogs. Now you're probably thinking, Frankie, I seen you with a bunch of other camera shots. This is not your only camera, right? Well, not really. I have my iPad right here, and it's actually a pretty old iPad. I think this is the iPad 2, and it's pretty thick, weighted. It's not updated to iOS 11 or whatever. It's actually pretty bulky, but even though that's the case, I'm still happy with it because it still gets the job done. It might not be the crisp or best camera in the world, but at least it gets the job done, which actually at the end of the day helps. Like I mentioned earlier, my pop socket is actually a pretty good use because when I'm doing like 5-second clips, I could just do this and then go from here to here to here without even a hassle. If I wanted to do more complicated skits, then that's when I would probably include my tripod or, you know, lighting, because like videos like this, you want to make it look good instead of me just holding it like this with a shaky hand. Which reminds me, you do not have to be very skilled to do this kind of stuff. In fact, almost anyone can do it. I just had this passion to make videos one day. I would say that I wouldn't really call it a real hobby, but I would just say that I only do this for fun. You can always improvise and improve, but you don't really have the right places to do it. Well, just take a look at my skits. I'm basically everywhere around my house, from my kitchen to my bathroom. And it's not really a great place to record, but it actually gives a kind of tone and feeling to it. I mean, like some skits don't even focus on the background, but other skits actually do. I only do most of my videos in the dark. For example, this skit actually made me go in a dark room with a strobe light, the same light that I'm using right now. I created a party scene, and I only did that in my room. People loved that video, and it actually made me happy because I didn't know what to do, but I improvised. And that's it right there. Improvisation is really key when it comes to filmmaking. Many people feel shy in front of a camera, and that's okay. Once you actually get used to being in front of the camera and actually get used to the criticism, but also the liking of your skits or videos, then actually just becomes this thing where you're not even thinking twice of. You gotta keep in mind that when you're doing this kind of stuff, everyone could see it. And that could be scary at first, but really, it can actually help you. Building your own community helps you strive for bigger stuff, and maybe it actually could help you in the long run. Friends, family, they can all be your first viewers. It's okay, you don't have to hack your account to make it look like you have 1 billion subscribers. Just start small and then make it up to the top. I mean, how do you think big YouTubers like PewDiePie and DanTDM and Ryan Higa made it up? In conclusion, anyone can make films. I only do this because I love it, and I actually want to be an actor when I grow up. This is the closest thing I have at the moment, and I'm actually thinking of making some bigger projects in the future. I'm only 12 years old. You could be older or younger than me. As long as you know what you're doing and you can have the parental supervision to do it, then you can be as popular as you want. This is Frankie signing out.